What you doing? I'm here to talk to the AC stories with this alcohol and anime. The last alcohol and anime of the year 2025. Just assuming people watch these when they come out and all way in the future. Anyways, um, mm, I watched and am going to talk about the anime film My Oni Girl. Um, and the my drink is it's a festive one because this is not a holiday Christmas Hanukkah Kwanzaa kind of movie, but there was snow in the film, so I'm getting into why I chose this film, but it also has to do with why I chose my drink for this film, which I called uh don't care about the holidays, but I saw snow. Um, yeah, that's the drink. Because when thinking about this drink, and coincidentally, I found this. Actually, if you've been listening to the past, at least the past episode, I was just looking through Netflix, been on a kick to just watch wherever I could find that are not part of series. And one of them, I saw snow. And then I was like, well, coincidentally, it's going to be when I have it. It was back in October. So December now. I was like, well, it's going to be December in a couple of months. I need a wintry kind of film, and luckily, there's already pretty set wintry kind of drinks. Now, one of my new favorites being mulled wine because of Spy Family film, even though by the time that was released in the US, it wasn't mulled wine time. But my drink is only three things. Very simple, not the simplest to do, but it is only three other drinks, all alcoholic, and it is mulled wine. It is also two, which is pretty much spiced red wine. And then two flavored white wines. One being an eggnog flavor white wine, and another being a peppermint bark kind of white wine. It's from this brand. I've had their chocolate wine before, and it's good, but it's called Petite Wine Specialty. I think maybe it's just Petite because it's Petite Eggnog, Petite Peppermint Bark. But yeah, it's good. I actually like it. I really like their chocolate wine. I really like their peppermint bark wine. I have not tried the eggnog by itself yet. Because I'm kind of scared. Back in the summer, if you remember, I did a manly man drink, alcoholic drink. When part of the manly man dinner is egg, and I was like, well, can I find eggnog? And I did, and I mixed it, and that was terrible. So I was tempting fate again, and I was like, well, I'm going to find some kind of eggnoggish thing and mix it again. It should be okay because it's technically all wine, right? But with the eggnoggy thing in it. The mulled wine, by the way, brand is Hark and Holly, and some German looking word, Gleewin. I don't know. I found out. No, wait. This one I found at Trader Joe's. The other two I found at Aldi's. So, and then I also got a second thing of mulled wine. Now, here's the other thing. Because this is based around mulled wine, of course, I'm going to heat up the wine. All three of the wines. And whew, it is a very confusing drink to try to enjoy. It's a very, I don't know, because it's uncomfortable, I guess, because eggnog. I think people normally can heat up eggnog, right? I don't know about peppermint bark wine, probably not. People heat up mulled wine. it should theoretically be fine together, I guess. I don't know if there's a taboo of mixing red and whites. I mean, I know there are already blends like that, but in this kind of sense, but I did it. I heated them up, all three together. Somewhat equal portions, I think. There might be a little more of the mulled wine, just because, I guess I was trying to do a little bit, even out the red and white. But, the taste was not terrible. It was not like when I took that shot of everything mixed for me and Robico and the Manly Man shot, dinner shot? I don't remember what I called it. It wasn't that bad. It didn't make me gag, but I was also prepared for it. I knew, kind of, but then I was like, this isn't going to be so bad. And I took a sip, and it was not too bad, taste-wise. Texture-wise, it is. It's hard to overcome, but I have been. I sure have been. But, it's just hard to, it's like, I guess curdled, kind of that, what you think of maybe curdled, but I don't know why. It's already wine. It kind of make my teeth hurt. I don't know if that's just something else, but maybe it's just my stomach. Also, it doesn't taste bad, and theoretically it shouldn't be bad. But the drink is mentally bad, and it is hurting. I don't think there's anything wrong with me. I think it's just I don't want to drink this anymore. But I'm not a quitter. Individually though, I'm sure the mulled wine's gonna be fine. I know the peppermint bark. This peppermint bark wine, it's really good. I really like it. I might have to go see if I can find more, but also I probably don't need more. And like I said, I haven't tried the eggnog by itself because I'm still scared to. Because this isn't helping. It's texture-wise, like I said, so it's not even the taste. It's just... And look, I drank the rest of the eggnog from the Manly Man. So I probably won't have any problem with this. It's texture. It's just me getting in my own head. But that's the drink. It was a kind of experiment that I actually thought would go a little better, but also didn't go as bad as I potentially thought it could. And it's warm. It's finally getting cool, for me at least. Cool enough. I like the cold. I drink a lot of tea, so drinking a warm drink like this, I'm just usually too lazy to heat up my mulled wine. To be honest, probably not going to heat up the rest of this bottle. I don't normally do it with sake either. Room temp is usually fine with me. The rest, these other two white wine flavored wines, I'll drink chilled. But yeah, so that's the drink. Don't care about the holidays, but I saw snow. I made a note of the name. Don't care about the holidays, but I saw snow. I normally don't do that. I'm starting to do that more often because that way I don't come in guessing and trying to do whatever. But also, I'm starting to think of actual drinks and the themes and reasons for them before I start recording this. Also, this isn't... I did not get these specifically for the podcast, but it's just around the same time and coincidental. So it is also kind of me being lazy, and using what I already have, but I just got it. So I guess it kind of counts, kind of doesn't count. Now, thinking about what could fit the film better than this. Is there white Japanese? I'm thinking like a white Russian, but white Japanese. What? Oh, wait. White Russian, that's just cream and vodka, I think? Maybe other stuff. Pretty much cream and vodka, right? The very bare basics of it. So what if you did cream and sake? Cream and warm sake? I could just done that. Maybe it would make more sense. But here's the other thing. The movie takes place during the summer. Which, during the summer, I did drink eggnog. So, It works out either way. But it's just there's snow sometimes. Yeah, I don't know. What's the more Oni themed drink? There were times characters were drinking. I know there was like beer at some point, mainly beer at some point. So maybe a Japanese beer and like a Sapporo, Kirin, Asahi, maybe, I don't know. And then, well, maybe something more summery. A light Sapporo or Kirin. Probably a Kirin. I don't feel like I ever see people drinking Kirin in anime. Is that actually Japanese? I would always get it at Japanese bars and food courts. It was like the cheap beer people could get. And then you go step up to Sapporo. And then a bigger step up to like Asahi. There was a Asahi bar. I don't know. I actually don't know if Kirin actually is Japanese or not. I wouldn't be surprised if it was just paraded around the U.S. or at least Hawaii as Japanese. Because even now, leaving Hawaii, I still mainly just see Asahi and Sapporo. I haven't seen Kirin. I kind of miss it. I kind of want it. But also, it was okay. Like, it's better than U.S. domestics, but it's still like that domestic quality. Anyway, so yeah, maybe one of those lighter beers and then cream. I don't know. That doesn't sound good either. I don't know. Is there another alcohol that's white wine? White wine, I guess. Also light. It's kind of snowy. So something along those lines. Will probably be fine, be good, all that. But like once again, most of this is just with children. I don't like making drinks for children. There is one scene where there's someone making a drink or herbal tea, some kind of drink like that for the characters. So maybe a tea kind of drink. What is a tea? A herbal tea, but with alcohol. I don't know. There must be something like that, but I don't remember ever drinking anything like that. But, there must be hot teas. I don't know. But either way, that's the drink. That's my alcohol rambling. Not bad, but just really hard to overcome to make yourself drink it. Okay, so let's get into why. Let's get into why I chose to watch this. I kind of already did. So, a couple months ago, saw it on Netflix. Decided I would just save it for holiday, winter season kind of deal. It kind of fits as much of an excuse I could. The alternative was going to be the Santa Claus senpai does not believe in Santa Claus girl or whatever. I don't know. Santa Claus girl. But that thing, I don't know. I just never got around to it. It seemed just kind of out of nowhere. Not really out of nowhere. Actually, probably would fit. But also, I don't know. Like I watched the first season of it, and I gotta catch up on all these films, I guess. And I didn't want to just randomly watch one. So when I saw this, I kind of just prefer to watch this instead. Yeah, so I did. I just watched it. That was it. That's watch it at home, watch it on Netflix. Just keeping a tab. There might be a lot more Netflix films coming out. I'm just making more and more lists of anime films I can watch for this podcast. I probably need to look for newer stuff. But like I said, I don't want to watch stuff that is part of a series. And if it is, at least make it a quote a non-canon film. So, yeah, I'm just looking for more original stuff. Now, this, I will say, I know I'm not in the review part yet, but this doesn't feel that original. It just doesn't feel very original. It just feels like something that's been done a lot with a different skin. But I'll save that for a bit, because now I want to be a little bit educational with what this film is. So, My Oni Girl, or in Japanese, Hauki de mo嫌いなあまのじゃく, or literally the Amanojaku I love to hate. Amanojaku. Is that a type of Oni? Or is Oni a type of Amanojaku? Are they completely different? I don't know. My Oni Girl. Really, the Japanese one makes no sense. The English translation of the Japanese name makes no sense. The Amanojaku I love to hate. Love to hate. There's no hate in this at all, so I don't really get the literal meaning translation. Weird. My Oni Girl works. That's good enough. It's short, simple, straight to the point. And so, it came out in Japan on May 24th, 2024. So it was just last year. It's 112 minutes. Came to Netflix. I don't know when it came to Netflix. Eventually. That's where I watched it. Okay, anyways. Produced or made by Studio Colorido, who I know I've heard of, / Twin Engine. Directed and written by Tomotaka Shibayama. Also, I guess, co-written by Yuko Kakihara. Produced by Karen Imagawa. A bunch of names I don't recognize because I'm terrible at names, so I'm sure they're all famous voice actors. Then the music is by Mina Kubota, and this is another film, just like last month with The Imaginary. If the music fits, fine. Like, it really is just nice background music. It fits with the moments, everything. It's just well done music, but it's nothing that pops out and sticks with you kind of music. I mean, if anything, the credit music will end up sticking with you more than anything. But it's just well done music, but it's also nothing spectacular. Nothing you're gonna be humming to yourself. But yeah, pretty straightforward. Nothing. I'm assuming this is just an original story. That I'm not seeing anything else about it. So yeah. Let's look at this English cast. I don't know. I don't recognize any of these. I mean, they're typical anime voice actors. It looks like. Yeah. Okay, so I did watch it subbed, of course. First season. Whisker Away code. Okay, Tomotaka Shibayama, also co-director of Whisker Away. I did watch it. I like that one enough. So yeah, that makes enough sense, I guess. And Drifting. Okay. That's why. So I do recognize some of the stuff because I watch a lot of stuff. I guess they just do more deals with Netflix than other places because I don't think these get U.S. theatrical releases. Okay. Netflix globally. Wait. Oh, it came out on Netflix and in Japanese theaters on May 24th, 2024. Oh, huh. Give it theatrical releases here. I know I don't get to go to them, but I really want to try more. Try to go to them more. But I only have myself to blame, I guess. So, yeah, that was it. I like it. Straightforward. Keep myself from rambling. Let's talk about what actually happens in this film. So, this takes place, or it starts off at least, in Yonezawa, Yamagata, the prefecture of Yamagata, and we see it's supposed to be summer, or it's supposed to be warm weather. I don't know exactly if it's summer or not, but we do see it is snowing for some reason, which just does seem odd, because, I don't know, I guess. And then, the main character is Hiyuragi Yasuse, and just a high school student, seems to be a people pleaser, or I don't know if it's bullying or just getting taken advantage of. Just seems easily taken advantage of. I don't know. To me, And I've seen stuff afterwards, but I'm ignoring the stuff I saw, and I'm going based off of my own opinions of what I watched. It seemed like this kid is more just taken advantage of, and just not able to say no. It's seems like borderline bullying, but I don't know. It's a weird thing because there's nothing wrong with wanting to help people out, but then if you do it too much and people start getting taken advantage of. Like for the most part, I help out friends. If somebody asks me to help do something, I do it just cause. But it's not like me trying to please them. It's like I don't really have a reason not to. I don't mind helping people, but I also don't go out of my way to help people. Like I'm not looking for people to help. And that's what Hiragi kind of seems like is. It's almost I don't know if you read some of the Manga Plus series, but there's a new-ish one. If I can find it real quick and remember the complete name. Asura's Verdict. The character's idea of like do good things and good things happen, but goes to extreme. It's kind of what reminds me of Hiragi. It's like it just seems to want to be a good, helpful person, and if there's more to it, I don't feel like it's really shown as that. But some of the things it shows in this early part is a couple kids just getting Hiragi to clean the gym alone. Then there's another student named Ai who wants Hiragi to pretend to be a boyfriend for a festival, which it seems like that is not even bullying for that, because you usually see stuff like that and it ends up being a trap, and it's like, I did this just to embarrass you. And no, Ai's like, oh, thanks for doing this. It's kind of awkward though, I guess, since you haven't had a girlfriend or anything. But yeah, thanks anyways, and that's kind of how it goes. So it seems like it's almost gotten to the point where Hiragi's been like this for so long that it's becoming an expectation, and people almost don't even think about it anymore. Or just second nature is just, oh, we'll just get Hiragi to do it with no real hostility. But yeah, now where the story actually starts to take place. And I will say, this story pretty much starts and keeps going. There's not much of this opening exposition because this is about where the action starts. So, Hiragi tries helping another kid slash the owner of the title slash Tsumugi, the actual person's name, with bus fare. Doesn't work out, or Tsumugi just is like, fuck it, never mind. And instead, they for some reason go home together. And this part is kind of weird, but I don't know. I guess I'm not a parent. I don't have kids. I don't really watch over kids. I would think if I saw a kid in need, I would be open to just having my home open to them to take care of them. But the family is just so weird because it's just like they knew Tsumugi forever, and it's like nothing. So Tsumugi sees like some kind of bubble coming out of Hiragi. We learn later it's called like a mini Oni. And they just go home together, to Hiragi's home together. And Tsumugi has dinner with the family. They acts a lot like the one parent and the other sibling, while the other parent is just sitting on the couch drinking beer instead of dinner. Then Tsumugi's taking a bath and getting hair brushed and all that, and it's like you would think they would have been childhood friends. They just happened to run into each other or been staying there or whatever. And yeah, so it's just no weirdness at all, which is the weird part. And then there's a little drama between Tsumugi and one parent who's just like, I don't think we ever get this parent's name. I think I just mainly call this parent H-Dad, Hiragi Dad. So that's what I'll say is just H-Dad, not Hentai Dad. Just because I say that I have to distinguish because eventually Tsumugi's parents become an even bigger part of this. But yeah, there's this drama between Hiragi going to cram school, but H-Dad is just like, there's no really need for that. I can just get you a tutor instead, and that'd be. But I don't know. It seems like Hiragi wants to just still be part of a group of people or whatever, and Dad's just like, yeah, but I want the best for you, and a tutor would be best. But yeah, I don't know. Social lives when you're young are important, I guess. Even though it kind of seems like Hiragi doesn't have that big of a social life, but thinks just being around is probably enough. Anyway, so there's some drama with that. Nothing huge. It's not like they're like yelling and screaming at each other and like Hiragi's threatening to run away or any of that stuff. But it's just a little bit of drama, but nothing overblown. I don't know. But Hiragi's up in the bedroom, sees some kind of spirit creature, just long body, almost snake, eel-like, something like that, just coming in, and then starts to try to eat Hiragi. We learn these are eventually called snow gods. That way I don't say weird spirit creature. The snow god tries to eat Hiragi, but Tsumugi senses something up, grabs Hiragi, and they run from the home. And then we see Tsumugi also has a horn. And Tsumugi somewhat tries to explain the situation a little bit. Stuff like the mini Oni is proof Hiragi is hiding fear or lies, and eventually will turn into Oni. And we learn that Tsumugi needs to go to the Hiei Shrine, where last place, Tsumugi's mom was supposed to be. Tsumugi has a little charm, a birthing charm or something like that. And you think, oh, okay, so eventually they make plans and they go. No, they decide to just go there. Apparently, it's far away. And you think the way how comforting everything the parents were, it would be like, oh, no problem. We'll just drive you to this shrine. Make a day trip out of it. I don't know how long it would actually take to get to the shrine from where they're at, but I know it would have been a lot faster than walking, which they do. And they walk like they have no problem walking. Like, they walk throughout the night. And at least Hiragi's parents do get worried. But because Hiragi never said anything, I'm assuming it was a little dispute, and that's why the parents are worried. It's like, oh, was that enough? Or blah, blah, blah. Maybe, but they're not super showing in their concern. But, you know, they're still going to look for Hiragi a little bit. Eventually, these two, Hiragi and Tsumugi, go try hitchhiking. They're picked up by a couple who are a couple of siblings. Not a couple that are also siblings. Not a romantic couple that are, hopefully not sexual siblings. I don't know, they make it weird. And when you get like a kind of determine what this relationship actually is, it gets cut off. So they're picked up by this couple of siblings that are wanting to start a vintage clothes store. And they just think these two kids are amusing or whatever. They're having a good time. They eventually get them to help with the stall. And then Hiragi's like, well, I want to help this couple, or help these siblings. It's like there's something they're not wanting to talk about. And here's the other thing is, I'm pretty sure Tsumugi says something like these many only fear or lies, but it really just seems like it's suppressed. And it's kind of said that later too by a different person. But it's more like these are just suppressed feelings, or like maybe are hiding something, but it doesn't necessarily have to be fear or lies. But it seems like fear and lies comes from having stuff suppressed, maybe. So they're helping. Hiragi wants to eventually help the siblings even more. But when the siblings start talking, it starts snowing. And also, it was never cleared up. It really seems weird. Like, maybe the one of the siblings has some weird feelings for the other sibling, and it wasn't cleared up at the end, so I don't really know. I think it was just that one sibling didn't want to actually do the store. Like, wants to be around and spend time with the other sibling, but doesn't really care about the story. I think that was it. Not that there was any kind of weird romantic sexual stuff going on. I really hope not. So yeah, it starts snowing when the siblings talk. There's a few little mini Oni coming off. And then the snow god returns, and they have to make a run for it. Tsumugi runs off. It seems to lead the snow god away. Hiragi eventually follows, but Tsumugi's knocked out at some point, and Hiragi has to carry Tsumugi through the woods and eventually running into an inn. So they stay since Tsumugi has a fever and needs a bunch of sleep. And while this is going on, Hiragi is working. It's just the whole thing is just like, the whole attitude of this whole thing is, oh, kids are so amusing. Not, oh, you couple runaways. They're way too understanding. I don't know. If I found a kid who ran away, what would I do? It's like a situation I hope I never find myself in. Because, one, I mean, I don't want to call the cops. Because nowadays, I would want to help the kid find the parents. But what if it's something bad happens? It's like, I don't know. I don't know. You don't know what the kids are running from. But it is weird that everyone is so understanding. And, well, caring isn't surprising, but just so understanding. And they are like, one of the owners of the inn is like, tell me about Tsumugi's parents. And Hiragi's like, no. And I was like, well, I need to know. No. And he's just like, no. And Hiragi is like, I'll work and do whatever. And then the owner's just like, okay, fine. You're stubborn. So I guess that's why, because of the conviction. But eventually another person is like, have you caught him yet? And Hiragi does eventually call it. But there's also not really any reason Hiragi doesn't want to talk to her parents. I think by this point, it's been 2 days, 3 days maybe, already. Which, like I said, just have your parents drive all the way there. Because eventually, the dad does. Hiragi calls the family eventually. They seem fine with it. But JK, dad wasn't. And goes to the inn. But they had already left and continue walking. Which you think they would have been able to just drive faster than these kids can walk. I don't know. Eventually, they come across a cafe that has a folding screen. That intrigues Tsumugi because the art on it's like a bunch of snow and looks like Oni and snow gods and all that stuff. And it turns out the owner of the shop is someone who gives them the herbal tea, whatever, to try for. But it was obviously just an excuse that because Hiragi brings up, oh, I don't have money, we can't stay there, let's just go. And the owner's like, oh, well, I'm trying this new thing, why don't you test it for me? And, that kind of excuse. But yeah, this cafe owner used to travel around a lot with their spouse. Now has a kid and grandkid who comes by. And they just talk about that stuff a little bit. It's just a nice moment. Leave again, but now it's raining. They're just running and talking in the rain. And then the snow god attacks again. Wow. Alright, there's... Before that, though, Tsumugi gives the childbirth charm to Hiragi as good luck. Oh no, wait. There's so many just random snow god attacks. So they're doing that. They're able to just... they're able to trap the snow god on a train. I'm starting to get ahead of myself. Then Tsumugi gives the childbirth charm to Hiragi as good luck when talking to Hiragi's dad. And then they finally make it to the Hiei Shrine. And there is someone with a name. Izuru, who is Tsumugi's dad. Oh, my bad. Yeah. And Izuru, for some reason, can't tell where Tsumugi's other parent, who is named Shion. So there's Izuru and Shion. Can't tell where Shion is. But says there's bad things happening. Yeah. And their village is in trouble. I don't know why you can't just be clear. It fixes so much trouble. Just be clear. Anyways, Hiragi and Tsumugi talk about their dads in the exact same way. About how they each want what's better for them. But then they can't acknowledge it about their own dad. And they end up getting mad at each other and end up leaving and just walking away. And then Hiragi's dad, and is there a name somewhere? I will look up to see if Ryuji. Oh, okay. No, that's not it. Who's Ryuji? Who's this? I don't know. I don't know who any of these are. Mikio, Mikiru. What? I'm assuming it is Mikio. I'm sure they said the person's name, but Mikio. Mikio. I'll try to remember that. Yeah. So, Mikio, Hiragi's dead. Finds Tsumugi first. Tsumugi's like, oh, Hiragi went that way, so then goes and finds Hiragi just in time to see Hiragi get eaten by a snow god and just disappears because Mikio can't see the Oni, can't see snow gods, can't see any of that other stuff. So it just seems like Hiragi disappears. So then goes back to Tsumugi, like, the fuck, where did Hiragi go? And it just suddenly vanished, and Tsumugi like, oh shit, probably got eaten. Oops. And this is when I start thinking, like, there's like memories, kind of, for while Hiragi's in the snow god, and it's like, is Tsumugi's mom turned into a snow god, and it's the one that swallowed Hiragi? I don't think so, but it really seems like that's the case. But these memories cause Hiragi a glow, and then the snow god crashes, explodes. So rip if that was Shion. It's not. But Hiragi lands in the hidden village, and now has a horn. But the village is also getting attacked by snow gods. So Mikio is given a ride to Tsumugi and Izuru. But then they just get out and abandon Mikio, like, pretty quick into the drive. And then, we're going to jump back and forth a little bit between two, but from here on, it's kind of just action-y that makes absolutely no sense. I am not drinking. I actually did not drink that much because the drink was so hard to drink. So I can confidently say I was paying attention. I was taking notes. I have no fucking idea how any of this is supposed to make sense. And it's kind of a bummer. Because already, it's not the most original. It's like a road trip, and usually I find road trips, just something about this one just like didn't click for me as much. I know we just had like Suzume. There's all kinds of other road trip kind of movies and whatever, and I normally like them. This one just didn't click for me for some reason, and it's just like, I don't know. I think it's because besides the snow gods, there's not really any other conflict, and it doesn't make as much sense with the parents, and there's not that drama there. Everyone's just too nice, and that's usually the case. Is the people that whoever's on the road trip come across, they're usually pretty understanding and helpful. But this one just felt even more so. But now the action is starting to take place, and it just gets weird and confusing. Maybe it felt a little rushed, I guess, but not really that much. I mean, it's not a short movie, an hour and 40 some minutes. So yeah, some of it could be extended a little bit. But so Hiragi's in this village, goes to talk to the chief. I don't remember the chief's name. While Izuru is arrested at the gate. Coming into the village. So Tsumugi just climbs it. It's fine. And it's like Izuru wasn't supposed to leave. And I guess it's because of all the danger, need all the hands you can get. So under martial orders, Izuru has to be arrested. But yeah. Tsumugi makes it to Hiragi and the Elder when the conversation is talking about the village being for people with suppressed feelings. And that kind of makes sense, I guess, if that's how people turn into Onis. But Tsumugi was born an Oni, and you just happen to find the village. It's not like there's any other examples we can go off for this. But apparently that's the case. Just a place for people to go and be alone, or with other people that have suppressed feelings. I don't know. But because Hiragi's whole thing is wanting to stay with other kids, pretty much. That's the whole crim school dilemma. So it's not like Hiragi really wants to just go off and be alone with suppressed feelings. I don't know. And it's not like those There are some suppressed feelings for Tsumugi now, but that's not what the whole thing started as. Anyways, so Izuki easily escapes while being walked towards imprisonment, and then Tsumugi locks Hiragi in a food room. So, yeah, not the person we thought we were going to get locked up. But, luckily, Tsumugi does this to protect Hiragi. But luckily, Izuru is walking by, hears Hiragi. They talk a bit, mainly just about Hiragi wanting to help Tsumugi and all that kind of stuff. And then somehow, for some reason, there's kids in another room, I guess, can hear through the vents or something. I don't really know. But the kids hear this and they're like, what the fuck are they talking about? Let's throw this up on the intercom, which is easily available to everyone. And so now everyone's hearing this conversation and hears that Hiragi wants to help Tsumugi, and that's cool, but also, what? So now a bunch of these Oni are coming to cheer on and help Hiragi, which is cool, but it's like, okay, so much helpful. Am I just a bad person? An unfriendly, spiteful person? I don't know. It's just all the helping. It's like, it's too much. So yeah. So now we jump back and forth a bit between Tsumugi and Hiragi. Even more with Tsumugi getting chased by snow gods. Eventually he loses them somehow, and then Hiragi's group gets attacked. Pretty much just starting out right away. So instead of making a little jump to go with Hiragi, which I feel like they could have easily cleared, they go back to the village while Hiragi goes on alone. And of course they're taking two completely separate paths. Tsumugi seems to be going low while Hiragi is high. Tsumugi gets to the shrine first, touches the mask, and is then just falling through memories. We kind of saw earlier, like, memories from the perspective of Shion, and now we're seeing a perspective of watching Shion more. And Tsumugi eventually just falls right into Shion's arms. And it's like, oh, that's nice. But then immediately, like, Shion's just zipped away. And like, oh, you're going to go off somewhere and do something, and something bad's going to happen? Nothing. There's just nothing that happens with that. But the village is on full force war, pretty much, with these snow gods. There's like catapults and weapons and shit everywhere. But yeah, after Shion is zipped away, Tsumugi's buried in an avalanche. But then is immediately literally able to just walk out from being buried. So Tsumugi's following these glowing footprints. And then just remembering the journey with Hiragi. So I guess you found Shion, just move on to the next thing, which was Hiragi, I guess. And it leads to, like, it seems like all this led up. It's like almost like this was part of the past, or all these feelings, and just the feelings lead to Hiragi noticing Tsumugi trying to get on the bus and need help with bus fare. It's like somehow all this, it's like a weird paradox thing, which also makes no sense. Nothing that happens in this last part of the movie makes any sense, and I don't get any point in why it happened. So it's kind of a bummer. Okay, so Tsumugi wakes up to Hiragi. It's like, okay, sure, I guess. He walked out from the avalanche straight to Hiragi. Don't know where Shion went, but okay. Then they both just float away. Then, for some reason, all the snow gods explode. Maybe they can't be out during the day. Maybe that was it. I don't know. And then Shion comes out of the shrine to Izuru just waiting. And then Tsumugi and Hiragi just float down to them. And it's like, okay, what was the point of any of that? Like, what did you actually do? You didn't really do anything. You just saw some memories and now everything's okay. It didn't see anything that should have stopped the snow gods. Nothing makes sense. It's just like, well, we're going to wrap it up for no reason. We're not even going to give reasons. We're not going to. I know you don't need to explain everything every time, but it's just like, it would have been helpful though, right? I don't know. And then everyone's reuniting. Hiragi's just like, okay, I'm going to bounce. Bye. And Tsumungi's like, okay, bye. And Hiragi, I guess just runs to the exit just like that. No, nothing else going on. Oh, but when Hiragi does get to the exit of this hidden village world, coming back to the regular world, Mikio is just waiting out there. Somehow is able to track down where Tsumugi and Izuru went. Couldn't get in because not an Oni. And then they make up. And that's cool, and that's fun. And then the credits roll. And the credits are nice. It's like the first credits. And we're just... There's no talking. We're just seeing Hiragi going home. We're seeing a bit of everyone else's lives from the journey and what's going on. Nothing. I mean, not a lot. It's just like, hey, remember these people you saw throughout this past hour and 30 minutes? Something like that. It's like, yeah, here they are. They're still around doing things, but not like a lot of things. But you get to see them. I don't know. And so those credits finish, and we get one more scene. At least it's not a complete it's over. It's not like last month when it really seemed like that movie just stopped. This one at least gives you another scene to wrap things up and give you a ending. And it's Tsumugi coming back. And it's like there's a whole kind of like, ooh, is something going to happen with this bus? Because Hiragi sees the bus and it's like, oh, what's going on with that? And you don't see anything at first, but then Tsumugi's like, oh, I want off the bus. And it seems like Tsumugi didn't even see Hiragi at first, but Hiragi sees Tsumugi, and they talk. Tsumugi's like, why didn't you come back and visit? Blah blah blah. And Hiragi's like, oh, I tried, but the door never opened. And Tsumugi's like, oh yeah, you're an Oni. Never mind, my bad. Didn't mean to bitch. Then Hiragi gives back the charm to Tsumugi. And I want to remind you, this charm was like a birthing charm or a childbirth charm. So, it can only be said that they're wanting to fuck and make a baby. I don't know what else it would mean. You keep passing this childbirth charm back and forth to each other, you gonna fuck. I know you're only in high school. I think it's too soon. You're still just kids, but I can't pretend like it doesn't happen. Anyways, Tsumugi's wanting to talk about feelings now. That's it. That's some film. Hiragi is going to be like, oh, I'll go and say, and Tsumugi's like, no, now it's my turn. Yeah, and that's where the film ends. So, in the beginning, the whole road trip part of it, nothing special. It's nice. It's just, nothing completely new. Just kind of looks different. Just a different skin, pretty much. Then the whole village thing makes absolutely no sense. It's just, I don't know. I don't know what it was going for. And I can't say like, oh, it's just terrible, but it's just like, I'm not really confused. I just feel like maybe I am confused. It just feels like you left a bunch out, or you just didn't really know what you were doing either. I don't know. But besides that, everything looked nice. It's a very nice looking film. Good animation, all that stuff. I like that. I have no complaints there. It's just the story just felt, I don't know, incomplete, uninspired kind of. It seems like one of those movies where it's like, oh, we saw stuff similar to this. Let's make it too, and make it different enough to say it's technically different, but also not really that much. So, not a bad movie, just doesn't make a whole lot of sense. It feels more like just a feel-good movie. It's like, oh, you just want to see a bunch of people take care and get amused by these kids. Cool. But yeah, there wasn't really anything bad to point out. So, no. Animation's nice, music nice, but nothing phenomenal. Just an okay, decent movie that maybe would have been better if I wasn't trying to pick it apart. If I just like cut my brain off for a bit and let the ending happen and be like, oh, ooh. But also like, I don't get it. So that's it. That's all I really have to say about it. Yeah. I covered it pretty thoroughly. That's the sad part, especially the sin part. I covered it pretty thoroughly. A little bit of drinking in it. That's cool. Nothing that really stands out. Be like, oh, that was great. That's the part I really like. It's like, it was okay. Elder was kind of amusing, I guess. or the chief. I think there is more alcohol back there too. But yeah, that's it. That's all I have to say about My Oni Girl. And my drink. Don't care about the holidays, but I saw snow. Yeah, I don't care. But yeah, it's the end of the year. It seemed appropriate enough. I'm just doing whatever I'm doing. I had plenty of time for this one. Still good, but I don't know. I'm just rambling at this point. So yeah, not bad, not good. Nothing bad, nothing spectacular. But if you also seen this movie, tell me what you think about it. Try to explain if anything actually made sense. I don't know. And if you have any better drink ideas for if it was to snow in the summer, let's say that. I feel like that's the best description of a drink or idea you could get for a drink is a drink for if it snowed during summer. That'd be cool. Things sound like that. But yeah, that's going to be it. If you want to talk more, leave comments if you can. Find me on social media, the AC Stories. Email me at theacstories@gmail.com. Join my Discord. We can talk about all kinds of stuff there. I'll leave links to all that. Make it easy for you. But thank you, everyone who listened. Thank you especially to my Ko-fi Patreon member, Julio Vasquez. If you also want to help support me, you can do it through that. I can't promise the money doesn't just go straight to alcohol because alcohol is part of all this, of course. But it's just a little money just to support the little things I do and get a little better at a time. But you get these shout outs, you get notes and stories alright, like this, and some of the pictures, posts of my drinks. I don't think I described how it looks, but I put it in a mug, so it's kind of hard to see in general. But I post pictures on Instagram. I include pictures with the notes. You can see it in the thumbnail a little bit. But yeah, and then of course I write stories, so join Ko-fi or Patreon, you get access to those if you want them. But that's going to be it for this Alcohol and Anime. I've been your talk container, the AC Stories. Until next month, next year, bye.